Equalizer, the parametric equalizer, and some other processing equipment in Adobe Audition. So first of all, we will lay a soundtrack, and I will go ahead and lay some audio. And as you may remember, we start with record. Make sure, of course, if you're in the studios, the Rodecaster mixer is on. Once you've turned that on, put this in the record function and lay down a track. This is a test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. As stated in the lecture, your ears can hear anything from 20 hertz to 20,000 kilohertz. So in that situation, we have a wide spectrum of frequencies that can be produced in any audio source. So in this case, my voice will produce probably likely some in the lower scale, but mostly my voice falls in the mid scale of frequencies that my voice can produce. So in some situations, we may have background noise, or we may have a voice that we want to manipulate or to remove, for example, lower frequencies. We may want to remove some higher frequencies in the voice or those items in the background. So noises like people in the hallway talking while you're recording, wind noise, popping in the background, things that have, of course, frequencies assigned to them. All sounds have some level of frequency that they're producing. So you can remove those items, and let's go ahead and just show you how some of this will work. So I'm going to select the track, and if you go to Effects, you can see you have a multitude of things that you can do to this voice and manipulate. Amplitude compression has the multi-band compressor. It has the dynamic processing, de-esser, and a lot of other areas in which you can manipulate this voice. So let's go to multi-band compressor. It's one of my favorite ones. And you can even see as I speak, it's recording my voice. And if you look to the left, as I speak, you can tell, based on what I told you, that most of my levels are going to be right here in the mid section. I don't have a lot of bass in my voice like some students and former people I worked with. Most of my levels are going to be in the mids, and there's a few high levels here. One way you can manipulate these levels, you can see here, the lowest level is 120 hertz. Right now, the highest level we show is 10,000 hertz, or in this case, we will try to go ahead and manipulate through this spectrum my voice. One thing you can do in order to manipulate that clip that I recorded, you can move this line, and you can see in the low section, I am moving the lower frequencies, which we would describe as bass, and removing some of them and opening it up, closing it here, and then opening it up this way. Here is the line for the mid frequencies, and then here's for the higher frequencies. So you can manipulate your voice in this way, in this manner. Just make sure you have it on down here. Or you can use the custom version of it. So I'm going to put broadcast voice, and you can see that they changed. If you put it in heavy guitar, you can see that they change, and you can really see in heavy guitar my voice. If I were to record it in this mode, I got a lot of low frequencies that are being opened up. So we're passing what we call HP, high pass, low pass, LP, meaning low pass. So this is a low pass function, LP function, because we're allowing more lower frequencies to pass. And if you want to kill the harshness of a voice or raise the vocals, say raise the vocals, you can see again, there is lower frequencies are being passed more than the other areas. But let's go to broadcast. And so we put it on broadcast mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. I'm going to put it in loop mode. It looks like it's already in loop mode. Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if we were to go back to the effects mode, And let's go to amplitude compression, go back to the multi-band compressor. We can go ahead and do something different. Let's go ahead and enhance. Oh, let's do the heavy guitar. And let's see what that sounds like. Should put a little more.
Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track.
So a little more bass, you can tell in that particular example. So again, that's something you can play around with and have fun with that one. So that's the multi-band compressor. Multi-band compressor. You can also increase the gain or limit the gain here. So if you got a hot track, you can take care of that there. If you got a track that has low levels, you can take care of it there. So again, this is the multi-band compressor, and you have a lot of control over what you can do with your lows, your mids, and your high frequencies built into your voice or built into whatever sound that you have produced. Another thing in the effects rack, delay and echo. If you want to place a little echo, filter and EQ. And filter and EQ is where we go to the parametric equalizer. The parametric equalizer is another example that was in the PowerPoint. And let's say we want to remove some of the higher frequencies to pass. You can click HP. HP is high pass. And you can see over here we have low P, low pass. And once you activate those, you can manipulate the different frequencies. And you can see here at the bottom, the scale is at 30 hertz and all the way up to 30,000 kilohertz. So well beyond what the ear can hear. And the ear usually hears anywhere between 20 hertz and 20,000. For younger people, it would go beyond 20,000, but you can see 10,000 is right where the ear really, really enjoys and really prefers to hear the higher frequencies. Lower frequencies, they got highlighted to 1K. And then once you get below 100 hertz, the lower frequencies are really inaudible. So let's go ahead and play in the background, and let's manipulate this a little bit, this clip.
We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the process.
And that's the high pass. So I'm allowing more higher frequencies to pass. So what would happen? Well, the more higher frequencies we pass, the more lower frequencies we cut. Let's do this again.
Processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track.
So here we've really, the low pass, we've allowed, you can see to the left, all those lower frequencies are only the frequencies now that are being passed. And over here we've cut. So anytime you allow certain frequencies to pass, whether it be high pass or low pass, what happens to the opposite frequencies? Yes, you get it. They get cut.
This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun.
You can also come in here, manipulate the different areas. So let's say I want to bring down some of my lower frequencies, but really, with my voice, I want to bring up some of the higher frequencies, maybe bring down some of the lows, bring up some of the higher frequencies. So I'm going to move that over here.
Fun with the processing equipment. Piano track.
So the goal is to make my voice cleaner, but with some low tones built into it.
This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And actually, that sounds pretty clean right here. I've got some low frequencies built up as we get near the 100 to 200. So I'm building lower frequencies in my voice. Why? Because my normal voice has more mids in it. So I brought the mids down, increased the lows, and then brought up some higher pitched frequencies to kind of clean my voice up. And these will help clean your voice up so you have a clearer voice. So in that example, you do have the ability to manipulate all your frequencies in your voice or whatever sound source you have. And as a result of that, you will have the ability to clean up your voice. And anytime I do this project, it just is interesting because my mother, who is near 80, has lost a lot of high frequencies in her voice. So this is what she is hearing now when I talk to her.
10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with.
So that is what a lot of elderly people will hear, and this is why often we yell, but you can understand that when we yell, you can understand why it doesn't help, because even when you yell through this,
Processing equipment.
it literally sounds like we're yelling through a pool of water, like you're under the water or an ocean trying to talk to somebody. So I really, when I hear that, it kind of makes me realize that, it's kind of sad, and number one, but I got to get really close to her ears or let her at least read my lips. Well, there's another example of how you can manipulate it. You can also go into the custom area of kick, heavy guitar, loud maximizer. You see a lot of these reference music, but let's do old time radio.
Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the process.
So you can see you can have the ability to shape and design voices in such a way to create perceptions. Like, for example, that voice was coming out of a radio or an old radio. And let's see what the beefy snare sounds like.
Processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
As you expect, a lot of some low to mid frequencies. When you hear beefy, you think bass. So again, the effects rack can help you. You've got reverb and different types of reverb. When you go to studio reverb, you can go in and manipulate the room size and create the perception you're in a tunnel, that you're in a small room, a large room. As a matter of fact, they give you great opportunities or great choices here if you want to create this idea that you're in a larger hall, outside a club.
We're going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Piano track.
Now you can go in and manipulate any of these presets. Pull back the decay, that means less reverb, less reflections, bouncing off, diffusing. Let's increase the diffusing, so it should smooth it out a little bit. You can cut what frequencies you want to be cut. Let's go to another example, room ambiance.
This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with.
That sounds really good. It sounds like you're in a small room. So very nice, small empty room in that situation. Modulation, thing like a phaser. You can create a phasing effect. We talked about this before.
Track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with.
These are great ways to shape your voice for like music promos, for commercials, but really like music promos and things of that nature. Let's listen to Zed Leplin.
The processing equipment. Piano track. This is a test. One, two, three,
Yeah.
4, 5.
So you can see it's phasing back and forth from left channel to right channel, left channel to right channel. So good for like promotional type audio projects. You can change up the time and pitch, but the most popular ones is amplitude and compression, dynamic processing, multi-band compressor are all examples. Here's another one.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Down the track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3.
So I got multiple effects on right now, but you can see I can move the dynamic processing and the frequencies that are listed in this particular one. Let's go to rock vocal.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun.
Yeah, some more funky effects on your voice. But again, this is a great way to increase and manipulate your voice at a more advanced level. If you go to noise reduction, which a lot of students, sometimes there's maybe some noise in the background or some humming, you can go to denoise and you can really reduce the background noise like a heavy wind or clicking noises or construction noises or any ambiance that you have in the background. You can lay a heavy noise reduction or light noise reduction. I don't have much noise in the background, but we can go ahead and let's do a heavy one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the process.
I'm gonna go ahead and lay off some of these. As you can see over here, you can see we got a lot of processing going on with the voices. So we would definitely want to reduce and turn off some of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all these except the denoise ones.
Equipment. Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So I do notice immediately that because I'm cutting this in my living room, which there will be a reverb, you can tell that it's removed some of that echo reverb in the background.
8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment.
Very nice. Let's remove it.
Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Down a track. This is a test.
It's reduced a little bit of it, and you can even have a heavier amount on it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing.
So again, that's in effects. If you got some background noise, noise reduction. So amplitude, compression, delay, and echo. If you like to put a little echo effect on your voice, sometimes the echo effect can provide a more depth to your voice. And you can also see there's some special echo effects, springy telephone.
Equipment. Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Spooky.
7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun.
And you can go in and adjust these
Equipment.
echo levels.
Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing.
So you can tone it down if you wish. Go back to default. Let's see what the analog sounds like.
Equipment. Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2.
Another method you can use too for promotional purposes, for marketing type audio, or for special effects for a radio drama. But you can also go in here and just lay your own delay, go to default, and you can pull back your own echo levels. And sometimes back in the day when I was in radio, we used to try to put a little echo effect on our voice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the process.
Not a heavy echo.
Equipment. Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with the processing equipment. Down a track. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It gives you a little more depth to your voice. And then you can come over here and also improve your different frequencies in your voice. And you can see this this equalizer is a little limited, but it does start at 86, and then there's big swaths, big difference between each of the channels. So you're manipulating a large amount of of the frequencies between each channel. So it's a little limited as far as the equalizer. You know, the parametric equalizer, you can literally get down to the frequency, where here you got, when you move something, you're moving a large scale of frequencies.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're just going to have some fun with.
So this is the another example of the echo delay effect and how you can use it. Well, there you go. There's some advanced skills as far as what you can do as far as manipulating your voice, especially for radio dramas and promos and things of that nature. If you don't want them on, you just come up here and turn those off. And that concludes this tutorial.